Oh, Jesus Christ.
All the small things.
Hi. Yeah, no, it's not that I hate movie remakes. In fact, I'm actually one of the people who's fairly open to movie remakes. Like, The Wolfman. I thought that was a great idea. You know, take a movie that was done decades and decades ago and turn it into a new movie now. Which the movie was alright. It wasn't necessarily the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I mean, it was a good idea. But try to remake American Werewolf in London, and I will kill you. Now, I never had a problem with movie remakes to begin with, and actually, I really still don't, to really a large extent. I mean, what pisses me off now is that they're remaking movies that I grew up watching, so it's more of a emotional attachment thing. I mean, before, I was totally cool when Peter Jackson walked up and was like, I want to make King Kong. Like, dude, do it! You're Peter Jackson. You're a very accomplished director. But when some stupid unknown director decides that he thinks he can remake Nightmare on Elm Street better than Wes Craven, oh, that's just a bad, bad idea for you, sir. And they've been remaking horror movies for quite a long time. It started with Black Christmas. By the way, do not see. Just don't see it. It's unless you want to laugh for a really long time, because that's all you're gonna do. It's not scary. But then they started remaking movies like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Halloween. Now, those guys are guys I grew up watching slash and fucking murder college and high school students. That's right, my childhood was quite disturbing. But regardless, I mean, they hacked and slashed their way into my heart. And to see some jackass who's like an unknown come in and completely fucking ruin it drives me insane. The only exception being Rob Zombie. He's actually made a couple of movies, and actually the first Halloween didn't bug me that bad because he kept Michael Myers roughly the same. And then he made this piece of shit. That's right. And by the way, who the fuck is this? 'Cause that ain't Michael Myers. That's some jackass in a hoodie. If you're gonna make a movie about Michael Myers, it has to look like Michael Myers, Rob Zombie. I mean, you can't take an icon and turn it into some weird shit that you've dreamt up. I mean, how hard can it be to... you don't even really have to change the character. I mean, you can just put a costume on anybody. How can the casting process be any different than this? What's up? Right. How tall are you again? You know, about 6'7", 6'6". Yeah. Now, your head looks like it can fit a mask over it. Is that true? Oh yeah, dude, totally. You can fit, like, all sorts of things on my head. Not quite sure we needed to know that much, but, you cannot talk for a couple, hours, right? Yeah, man, totally. Well, I think we found our Michael Myers. I mean, honestly, the only one I was really worried about was Freddy, but then they got an awesome actor to play him, so, I haven't seen the movie yet. I really want to, though, because, I mean, as far as I know, it's not terrible. But my real beef is that they're taking a good idea and morphing it into what people today think horror is, which is boobs and blood. Granted, old movies were about boobs and blood too, but the blood wasn't quite as gross. I literally see childhood icons ripping intestines out like it's fucking hostile. What's with that? Just because torture is in now doesn't mean you have to take an old school slasher like Jason Voorhees and make him pull eyeballs out and slice wieners. I mean, it's not necessary. But what pisses me off is I hear they're remaking The Thing. Now, this could only be rumors, but all I know is that that is going to suck worse than anything in the world. Because the original Thing was awesome. For Christ's sakes, the head literally pulls itself from a body and crawls around on the floor like a spider. Don't tell me you wouldn't pay to see that. And then they're just going to make it some stupid CG shit, which granted, the puppets didn't look that great. Newsflash. CG looks fake too. Unless you got that really cool James Cameron Avatar thing going on, but I don't think The Thing remake will quite have that budget. I'm just afraid I'm gonna sit down with my grandkids one day and be like, I remember the movie The Thing. Oh, such a good movie. I definitely saw that movie, and it was dumb. But my grandkids won't say that to me, which means I won't be able to correct them and let them know that there was a thing before that that rocked. By this point, I gotta imagine they'd probably have, like, holograms inside your room, so you're not just, like, watching the movie, you're, like, in the movie, like your couch is in the middle of a battlefield. Sorry, I just spent, like, 5 minutes imagining what future technology is gonna be like. It's awesome. But yes, that's my beef with movie remakes. Nothing more than just taking a good idea and turning it into shit, essentially. Just leave remake out of it. You don't have to say it's the new anything, because the Friday the 13th movie could have easily just been called a sequel. Unless you take into account that whole Jason X thing. Good Christ, that was a bad idea for a movie. And I actually did like Friday the 13th better than Jason X. The remake better than Jason X, because quite frankly, Jason X just feels like someone was in the background going, shoot him into space! See, I told you we'd use that at some point. Why doesn't that piss you off? That pisses me off! Come on! Let me know what you think. From now on, the comment box below my head right here, it's not called the comment box when rant's on. It's called the rant box. Feel free to rant about what I was talking about, what you want to talk about, and maybe if it brings up a good enough topic, good enough, what am I talking about? If it brings up a topic I like, I will do a rant myself on it. Because quite frankly, I think these are fun and they're easy to do because it really just involves me not being busy. Which means I should probably turn out like 14 a week. God, I do nothing.